Sup guys, Heking here, bringing you a review on the latest Attack on Titan Season 2 episode. In this case, it's the final episode, episode 12, aka episode 37, Scream. So yeah, potential good news, a Season 3 has confirmed. So yes, rejoice guys, this is not the end of it. We're not going to be leaving the series off cancelled or whatever, or the cliffhanger. No, we are getting another season, so we're going to see what's going to happen next. But yeah, this episode was amazing to say the least. Last week's episode was just great. I don't think I did a review for last week's episode. Just a quick recap. Some of my favourite moments were in last week's episode. I mean, that moment when Armin just starts forming that creepy ass smile as he comes to an understanding of how he can taunt Bertold, and getting those two moments with Erwin. That moment when Erwin gets his hand caught by the Titan and he gets carried off, and for those few split minutes, seconds and minutes, we assume he's dead basically, but him just screaming out, "Advance! Get Erwin! Advance!" That's just like, whoa, this dude is like on another level. Like, that's how badass Erwin is. Like, he's dying and he's telling everyone else just to get a move on. A nice symbolism as it cuts to Armin and him taking charge and going on to rescue Eren from Bertold and Reyna. And then of course the final part when when Armin coaxes Bertold to lose his cool by saying, making up lies that they're torturing Annie, and then Erwin just coming out of nowhere with one arm and just snatching Bertold across, and Mikasa diving and rescuing Eren and getting out of there. Just that whole moment was just phenomenal to see. The stuff before that as well, the creepy glances between Bertold and Mikasa especially was just phenomenal. And of course the moment between Historia and Ymir, and the understanding and how much she cares for Historia as well. Like, that's just all overall great moments there. But yeah, definitely last week's episode was great, and this episode of course is even greater because, like, holy crap, we get a lot of awesome moments in this episode. First off, I have to say, cool moment animation wise with Historia when she ends up jumping on, I think she jumps on Ymir's head and they're talking, and how they have to live for themselves only now, and then she ends up jumping in, kicking ass, right? And it's just a great whole sequence. This is also especially another part as well when Ymir ends up rescuing Erwin. Like, at first you think she's gonna go and attack Erwin because he's the one who kind of screwed up her plan to get his story out of there, but instead she ends up rescuing him. The others come in, they get in there, they're rescuing him, they're fighting in, and Erwin's just sort of bleeding out there. Like, you can see, like, he's just dazed and confused and losing amounts of blood. Like, the dude's about to drop and he's doing everything he can to stay steady. He even says that he can replace, but Erwin cannot. So, like, the determination of Erwin, man, is just like, this dude is a phenomenal leader. He got a lot of people killed, but he gets the job done. That's the thing, he gets the job done. Compare that to the last guy who was in command, and he just got everyone killed without getting anything done. So Erwin at least produces results, and he ends up sacrificing himself as well. So that's the mark of a very good leader, in my opinion, even if that leader is a bit of a psychopath, as we see at the end of this episode as well. But yeah, we pretty much get this big moment as to why they're all after Erwin, which is the coordinate. What is the coordinate? Well, it's pretty much answered in this episode. At least we assume it's answered, because Heinous, unfortunately, we get this sad, tragic moment with Highness. He tries to fight the Screaming Titan to kill her, and we get some moments of him slashing her, flying across, battling her out, but eventually he's just not very good enough. He gets caught by her, and we pretty much get like a reenactment of how Erin's mom died, and he gets bitten in half and gets chewed on. And it's just, for me, that was just the saddest moment of the entire episode, especially the flashbacks that we got to him when Eren was remembering him and their childhood. Like, for me, I was just like, the feels were strong in that moment, and yeah, I cried my eyes out. I cried my eyes out when the episode ended. Highness, for me, yeah, he wasn't really a main character, but he was one of the main supports. He was there from the beginning of the series, and it's just sad to see him go, especially him not really getting the redemption that he sought for himself. And yeah, it's just sad to see that go out. But we do see Eren in his last moments, as he assumes that he's about to die, along with Mikasa and her telling him her feelings. We finally get Mikasa basically confessing, telling Eren that he at least did something. Eren's losing his control, saying that he didn't change anything. Well done, by the way, on the voice actor. He did a phenomenal job. This is the Japanese dub, obviously. He did a phenomenal job there with this moment here, crying out that he hasn't changed at all. And Mikasa telling him that he did. He changed something, which is saving her life and giving her a purpose to live for. And in that moment, Erwin gets up, almighty. He's not going down for a fight, and he goes in for a punch, and obviously it's not going to do shit, but That's him basically standing up for himself, and surprisingly something happens. He screams as he connects with the Screaming Titan's hand, and suddenly every single Titan turns around and attacks the Screaming Titan. Berthold and Reina and Ymir at that point also realize something. They get some sort of, you know, like freaky electric like kind of this, like they feel it. Whatever's happened, whatever's made the other Titans turn around to attack the Screaming Titan has also sort of made them free aware as well. And at this point, where, you know, Reina realizes that yes, Eren indeed has the coordinate, and he's basically the worst, as he puts it in his own words, he's the worst person it could have fallen into. So yeah, like at this point we get Reina trying to capture Eren, going in for this last push, but Eren ends up somehow sending the other Titans after him. He doesn't realize he's doing it, of course. You know, he's just screaming and sort of waving his hands. He doesn't know what he's doing, and the other Titans end up attacking Reina and Berthold. Berthold just slashing away for dear life, and Ymir in that moment makes a choice. She makes a choice to go and rescue Reina and Berthold and leave his story behind. Now, knowing that Eren has the coordinate as well, she obviously realizes what this is and what it means, and she accepts that there is a future indeed with the walls. So you know, she ends up letting Historia go with the Survey Corps, and she ends up rescuing Berthold and Reina. And yeah, the episode ends pretty much with an unexpected turn and a tragedy as well, but we do get this last moment with Ymir and Berthold and Reina on the wall, where, you know, where they thank her for saving their lives. She's got a chance to get away, but she pretty much says that she owns them back. You know, if it wasn't for them breaking the walls down, she wouldn't have ended up turning back to human. If they hadn't come there in the first place, she would have been in an endless nightmare. But in a way, she has to, for the life they've given her for these past 5 years, she has to return that favour, and basically she has to give back what she's taken, so she's willing to come with them. You know, whatever it is, there's obviously some sort of understanding. Again, Ymir obviously comes from the same place that Reina and Berthold come from. She obviously knows and understands the situation, so she accepts to go with them and face the consequences. And unfortunately, spoiler alert, this is in fact Ymir's final official Scream present occurrence. We don't see Ymir after this point ever again in the storyline, except for mentions and potential flashbacks. At present, this is technically Ymir's last appearance. So yeah, after this, you're never going to see her again, and it makes a lot of sense why the anime decided to give us those flashbacks of her childhood, and that's so early on, so as to really focus and hammer in her development and make it a point that yes, this is the last time you're ever going to see Ymir. You know, here's everything you need to know about her. Here's a few clues as to what's really going on. Nitpick, analyze it, enjoy, and yeah, don't take a character for granted, basically. And yeah, overall, I think the season as a whole did a good job with Ymir's character and doing those chapters first instead of later on. As a whole, we have like 7 more minutes left of the episode once that whole battle ends, and we pretty much get an adaptation, at least parts of the adaptation of chapter 51. We get Erwin, Levi, and Pixis in bed. You know, Erwin is recovering. We got Connie and Hanji arriving, and they pretty much confirmed to us 100% that the Titans that invaded Wall Rose this time around all came from Connie's village, and that they are in fact the villagers. Somehow the humans turned into Titans, and Levi himself ends up being horrified by the revelation that he's been killing humans as well. You can just see this look of surprise and shock on his face, especially all the others, and even a weird moment with Erwin. Remember when I said psychopath? Well, we get this creepy ass smile from Erwin, almost like a realization of something has been formed. It seems that Erwin is aware of something, or he knows something, and what Hanji and Connie have pretty much confirmed to them, even though they say it's a hypothesis at now, you know, it hasn't been 100% confirmed, but it's pretty obvious that is the case. He seems to click onto something, and he's very happy about it, and Levi just gives him this very horrified, dirty look, like at what he's smiling about. I mean, lots of people have died for this mission. Even Eren has lost his cool about the amount of people that sacrificed themselves to rescue him. And yeah, it's just funny to see Erwin giving that weird ass smile. He obviously knows something. We don't get that moment where he pretty much says that people used to call him a creepy kid in school. Unfortunately, hopefully that gets somewhat adapted maybe next season. But yeah, Erwin is obviously aware of something, so that's kind of cool to see there. And then of course we cut to, like I said, we cut to Erwin and him. Pretty much Armin and Jean was pretty much knocked out throughout this entire fight, and Armin had to care for him. But they pretty much come up to their own hypothesis and theory that Eren was the one who controlled the Titans. And Eren pretty much says that he's not going to give up, that he's going to control the Titans, at least learn the power to control the Titans, and then seal up Wall Rose. And yeah, pretty much all the characters are a point where they're determined to see what's going to happen next. And the season pretty much leaves off with the revelation that yes, the humans, or humans in general, are being turned into Titans. Why or how, we don't know. Reyna and Bertold have Ymir in their possession now, and they're going back to their side, wherever that is, wherever their hometown is, which is obviously outside the walls. Eren has the coordinate, which is potentially a power to allow to control the Titans. How did he get that? Why does he have it? Why do Reyna and the others want it? We don't know, but obviously the questions are being raised now, or in this case the bigger important questions. And then we end the season with a final zoom out from the walls all the way to the very end to what I assume is the third wall, and standing on top of there, watching and waiting, is the Beast Titan in all his mighty glory, giving that evil, sinister glare. And surprise, surprise, we end up seeing the human form. We see the dude coming out of the Beast Titan, glasses, yellow blonde hair, I assume, maybe a beard. It's all a bit foggy and steamy. We don't get a whole lot of his features, but he's very well built. And yeah, that's pretty much our first look at Zeke, basically. And yeah, what a way to end the season. We didn't get an adaptation of the chapter with Krista confirming her name and who she is and talking about the book that she needs to read, which is pretty much a symbolism to the ending credits. I thought that's how it would end, matching it over that, but that's not the case. But instead it ended with Zeke. The season sort of basically began with Zeke, who was pretty much the responsible for all of the crap that happened this season, and it ends with him. And yeah, what a wait we have to wait now. We have got one more year to go before we get the next season and see what happens next. It's going to be a crazy long wait, especially since we're getting the Uprising arc, so we're going to have to wait longer. But yeah, what a way to end the season. What a great season in general. There were obviously a few lows and downs, but as a whole the season did a good job in giving us some revelations, a lot of good, decent action and character moments. And yeah, just as a whole the season's been good. And yeah, in general guys, as always, like and subscribe, whatever, and I shall see you when I shall see you. Yeah, take care and bye. Attack on Titan Season 2, brilliant. Watch it if you haven't. Yeah, and Season 3, man.